So how much money does it cost to start up an escape room? We're about to find out. So welcome to Escape Room Unlocked. I'm Tone and we're here to talk about startup costs. Now, when the industry first began, the barrier to entry was small. For example, Nate from Puzzle Break started on $7,000. Myself with Trapdoor, we started at $16,000. We came in, we opened our game, killed it, and the rest was history, right? Wrong. See, here's the thing. All those companies that opened up, 3 years ago, we didn't have any competition back then. So, when we opened, it was just Trapdoor and like 7, 8 other companies in New Jersey. I think we were one of 9, so there were 8 other companies in New Jersey at the time. Now, if you fast forward to current day, we are now 2 of 158 facilities, and from what I understand, next month that number goes up. That is in New Jersey alone. Is New Jersey a big state? Sure, but that is a massive amount of escape room companies in one state. Now, what did that mean? And what does it mean to you as an escape room owner and what you could expect in your territory? Well, what it simply means is startup costs are now higher. Because here's kind of the evolution. So we open our first game, Escape the Architect. Escape the Architect does really well, but we learn a lot. And we have new ideas that are much more grandiose. So 6 months later, we open up our second game, Cure Z. Now Cure Z ended up being a $26,000 escape game. $10,000 more than what we spent on Escape the Architect and opening our first location. See, the $16,000 wasn't just to open Escape the Architect, it was to open the whole facility. That's important, because that basically means that Escape the Architect was maybe less than half of that amount. So we probably opened Escape the Architect on like $5,000, $6,000. Now, we went up about $10,000 in costs for Cure Z. Does that mean every game thereafter would be that same amount of money of $16,000? No. We learned more. We got curious about more. We wanted to do more. So what we did was we opened a new location, which meant new startup costs, and then we opened a brand new game with everything we learned and wanted to do, Witch Hunt. Well, it ended up costing us about $116,000 to do that. And then right thereafter, we opened up F5, which is what I'm standing in right now, our tornado escape, minus all the special effects that aren't turned on right now. So our games now are more like $50,000 a piece, probably a little under, but in that ballpark. Does that mean every single game in New Jersey now needs to be a $50,000 budget? No. But it does mean that you need to understand that you're competing with my $50,000 game. That's the important part. You need to be ready to compete. And that's the thing. All the companies that have been around for a while, they're leveling up. They're getting more expensive. They're getting smarter, more intelligent in their decisions. We've already been around the block. So for you to come in brand new, you have a lot of catching up to do. And unfortunately, catching up can be expensive. So if you're going to open up a game that's going to have the special effects that's going to rival our incoming tornado, you better be ready with some really good ideas. That's not to say it's not doable. Let's take the film industry, for example. Not every movie is Star Wars. And go back to the 90s. We had mega blockbuster, mega blockbuster, mega blockbuster. But then comes around a little film everyone knows called The Blair Witch Project. Blair Witch Project was done for under $15,000. It dominated the box office that year. So what's the lesson learned? Creativity can make up for budget in droves if it's the right form of creativity. Doesn't mean that every idea can come out and blast past those big budgets. It can't. It's going to be a lot harder to come up with those, genius ideas that don't require all that money. Now, Trapdoor may have just come up with one of them. A lot of you are already familiar with our new concept, Puzzles and Corks, which premieres July 1st, but it's already been in some showings throughout the month of June so far. Just this past Friday night, we had a huge event here at our Morristown location. Now, Puzzles and Corks, much lower startup cost than our typical games. Why? Because there is absolutely zero set design. Puzzles and Corks can be transferred anywhere. I can bring it to any space whatsoever because it's really designed as a pop-up game. It's the concept that was genius. So check out puzzlesandcorks.com for more info, or our next episode, which is going to talk about Puzzles and Corks and a little behind the scenes about it. But just remember, the chances of you starting an escape room for $10,000 and being successful in your market are slim. They're beyond slim. It's almost a hopeless concept. Unless you have that genius idea that can break the barrier. Good luck out there.